Hello once again. This is Jacques Laurent, Director of Technology Services for FunderOne Capital. Welcome to July's monthly FUNDX general meeting for our members. So between the holidays and a lot of summer traveling going on, we've had to change up our timing a little bit. But as always, we strive to bring new and useful information to continue to build this platform to its full potential. So today, I happen to be broadcasting directly from New York, visiting with family on a beautiful multi-acre property, enjoying some family time and visitation. So, but I want to make sure we took the time to reach out to you and let you know where we are. So, what you're going to find is going forward, our meetings will get shortened to less than an hour because of the new formats that we'll be using. We'll soon have a blog with weekly updates. We're going to have additional social media platform activities, and we're going to have a live chat on our site. So we're going to get started. When you want to view the contents from this meeting, videos from this meeting and other contents that we put, we're going to ask you to go to our YouTube channel, okay? And the way you go there, if you don't know already, is to search for FUNDX Crypto Channel. You go to YouTube and you search for FUNDX Crypto Channel. And we want you to subscribe to our channel. And we want you to like the videos that you watch. That way we know who's watching them and what's going on with them so that we can continue to produce more relevant content. In addition, for you to get subscribed, the very first thing you're going to see when you go to our channel is you're going to see what's on the screen right now. And when you see it from there, what you're going to see is you're going to see on the top right a button that says subscribe. After you click on the subscribe button, it's gonna change color from red to gray and says subscribe with basically a little bell. You're gonna click on the little bell next to the gray subscribe, and then it's gonna pop up another menu for you that's gonna give you the option of all and personal or none. You're gonna click on the all button. That way, anytime we put new content, you will get that information immediately. What we are trying to do, some of the changes that we're doing in terms of how we connect with you so we can be more effective is we're going to ask you to continue to place your questions in the chat room that as you've done in the past. However, general questions, you don't necessarily have to take any further step than to just put the question. If it's a question that is good for any member or anyone that's participating in this meeting, just go right ahead and put it in the chat room, and we will answer that through a follow-up video. But if you have questions that need direct answers, okay, we're asking you to do this. You put in a question, but on top of the question, you're going to place your name and you're going to place your email address next to the question in the chat room. And the reason for that is simple. We're going to reply to your personal or direct question via email. It's going to come from zoom@funderone.com. And that way you get an answer to that question. And that allows us to be able to give you a more clearer answer. We will have time to follow through on your information and then be able to send it to you. Now, let me be clear about something. When we send we don't monitor the Zoom email address. So if it's going to be a back and forth, we're going to try to be as thorough as possible to answer your question. But if it's going to be a back and forth, then you probably won't get much response beyond the initial response to your question. So be very clear about your question, and then we'll follow through with you on a personal, direct answer to you for your particular circumstance. The last meeting we had, just to give you an idea of what occurred, we had general FAQ questions, frequently asked questions. We had about 13 questions that were frequently asked questions. And if you went to our YouTube channel, you'll notice that those questions were answered. Cedric and I, we went and created a video that answered these general questions for everyone, okay? There were 9 questions that were individual or personalized questions. None of them had emails attached, which we had requested prior to the meeting. So you probably didn't get an answer because there was no email attached to any of these questions. And then there were many others that were salutations, general comments, and so forth that basically were unanswerable questions. So just to give you an idea of what has been going on in the chat room so that you know and understand that we are monitoring what's going on in the chat room and that we are responding to your questions. So as I mentioned before, we released our first FAQ video, which is going to be standard after each meeting we have. So after each meeting, you're gonna see that there's a YouTube FAQ video that follows that meeting, probably within a week from the time of the broadcast. So probably in a week from now, we're probably gonna have another video to answer your questions. So please put your questions in the chat room so that we can address them. But we're going to continue to do that, and we're going to continue to answer your questions as best as we can so that we can provide the service that you deserve. Today, we're going to have updates from Matthew Daniel, our marketing director, and he's going to cover matters of Coinbase, FUNDX pricing, the FunderOne.com website redesign. He's going to cover projects that are starting to fund. He's going to cover expanding into commercial property, social marketing bursts, you know, and the video content. He's going to be followed by Dr. Pitts, who is going to talk some more about project funding, about merchant accounts, FunderOne debit card, and ATM machines, banking relations, investors, and us, of course, customer service. So without much ado, we're going to go ahead right into our meeting and follow through from there. So now we're going to have our COO, our Chief Operating Officer, Seth Celestin, who's going to speak to you, followed by our Marketing Director, Matthew Daniel, followed by Dr. Pitts. Seth, take it over.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. This is a very good day today for us, and this month, July, is a very, very good month for us. As usual, we're gonna call God to be part of our meeting tonight so we can continue. Let's pray. Father God, we thank you for favor, we thank you for wisdom, we thank you for opportunities. We thank you for your grace. We thank you for everything that you have done for us and all the things that you promise you will do through us. We thank you, praise you. In the name of Yeshua. Amen. Today is a great day. Why I say it's a great day? Because we're gonna introduce to you our new CEO. And is no strange to us, no strange to the platform. Is none other than Dr. Pitts. He's our new CEO now. He will talk to us after Mr. Daniel actually talked to us. Mr. Daniel, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Sid. And I would like to say welcome to the family, Casual, but you're already part of the family, man. So we're so happy to have you, I guess, officially as our main executive in the company. So we're blessed to have you part of us, and well, man, we love you like a brother, and we're so excited to have you part of what we're doing, man, at another level. So congratulations there, and hello everybody, welcome back with another video here. We're at another month. We're into getting towards the tail end of June here. A lot of exciting things have been going on. Let's see where to start with. One of the big ones, if you guys haven't been watching some of our other videos, we are previewed on Coinbase. That's right. FUNDX is previewed on Coinbase, guys. So we are moving. We are looking into other ways of accelerating this business. We believe in business velocity. We don't just focus on one thing. We have to focus on everything. And a big part of moving this business forward is making sure we're taking care of our crypto asset, which is FUNDX. And we're starting that process of starting our due diligence with Coinbase. And our team has been doing a good job by getting us previewed on there for now. And over the next several months is the process, guys. Typically takes about 6 months, which we've already started, to get listed on Coinbase. So if you guys want to go to Coinbase, and you can go to search and you can put in FUNDX, and you guys will be able to find us directly on there, along with CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko and Probit and P2P and all the other regulars that you guys are used to. But I know, you know, at least 80% of you guys do have Coinbase already on your phone. So this is the easier way to follow the price and the volume and all the other good things that have been happening. You know, another pit stop that I'm looking to make, and the board doesn't even know this, but I'm going to tell you guys first, is I'm looking to get us previewed on Kraken next. Kraken is the second biggest exchange in the US, so I'm going to continue to move and push the ball forward with working with US exchanges, making sure that we're staying ahead of the game here, not waiting for anybody, but making sure you know, we're knocking on their door, you know, progressing, what we are. We're a very progressive company, and we're going to progress real estate and mortgages and everything about us. So we want to make sure we're on the cutting edge and all the top exchanges out there. And I'm going to be continuing to push the ball forward there with this company. So, you know, another thing I wanted to bring up is FUNDX pricing. As you guys, I've mentioned this before, I'll mention it again. There are some people that are saying, why is FUNDX pricing going down? You know, we've tipped at the top of our peak was around $4 grand. We're sitting around $2 grand right now. Again, guys, it's because we are directly tied as of now to Ether. Okay, so we are paired with Ether's blockchain, and a percentage of our price is actually tied to Ether's market price, right? So when Ether and the market does slide down, FUNDX, unfortunately, as of now, will slide down with it, but no fear. Okay, guys, we can get into the whole market, you know, conversation about, you know, the market will come back, guys. This is a volatile market. This is not a stock exchange. It is a crypto exchange. Everything will bounce back. But aside from just telling you that, right, out of, you know, just crypto knowledge, again, we're going to come off of the Ether blockchain and go on to our own blockchain, right? So we will not have the fear of being tied to the price and the coattails of another blockchain. We'll be purely on our own, and the price of FUNDX will just continue to rise because the way that we're structured. Again, our asset is our members, and we're going to continue to bring in more and more and more members into this platform. And as we continue to do that in closed projects, our assets are more valuable than anything. That means our crypto price will be more valuable than any crypto price out there. Okay, so I just want to reiterate that for those that are holding right now, continue to hold. We're going to continue as we're closing projects, as we're getting off onto our own blockchain, the price will immediately bounce back and well and beyond the height that we've already hit. So this is nothing, guys. This is just the beginning. So I just wanted to bring that up to you guys. Something I brought up in a previous meeting was our FunderOne website, FunderOne.com. Some of you have been going there, and you guys will notice that is temporarily under construction. Guys, we are rebuilding that website. For those that have been visiting, it is out of date. I mean, we're talking about a lot of our old technology that we were going in that direction. We have a new direction, and we're very sound in the direction we're going. We're very driven and motivated with the way that we structure our FUNDX strategy now. So, you know, we had U-bets and U-shares and E-shares stated on there, and that was an old model. So we are no longer we no longer have that content and how that model works listed on those websites. We're going to be revamping the website, bringing the model up to speed, and putting everybody on notice. But we will continue to have those coins, right? The E-shares, U-bets, and U-shares, and we'll be using those for different areas, which I'll get to here in a moment. But so over the next, you know, maybe 2 weeks, that site will be under construction, and we'll have a nice new beautiful site with all the new content and ideas and strategy that we're doing. So that's really exciting for us moving forward. And then plus all our new executive team that we're building on, of course, with Mr. Pitts. We've also brought on a new corporate counsel, securities counsel into our business as well. And we'll be making that announcement on our next video. So that's also exciting. And we're going to continue to add more and more members, guys. Okay, we're at the point of huge growth, which brings me to my next point, which is funding, guys. We are at the point where we have all of our contracts into place. All legal is completed, and funding is finally starting to hit here, guys. So we're very excited to do that and starting to get that moving with FunderOne. We have all been waiting for that moment, and these next couple of tranches that are coming in are going to be a huge market mover for all of us, guys. I mean, the amount of projects that we'll be able to bring in with this type of funding that we're closing is going to put us on the map. So again, guys, thank you for your patience. All the funding that we're bringing in is going to be able to, help hundreds of different families out there with their housing. So we're very happy to start being able to close a lot of these extended projects here. So also with talking with new groups of investors, we've started expanding on the idea model of commercial properties. So a lot of you that have been following us, I know you guys are in commercial properties, and we are now extending our relationships and starting to create models in those industries that will be able to utilize our platform. So for those that are in the industry already, that work with developers, we extend ourselves for you guys to reach out to us and like to see how we can get involved with you guys. But some of the institutions and developers and brokers that are in the commercial space, we're starting to entertain an extended model and bringing them into the FunderOne platform. So that's going to be really exciting for us as well. In other news, we've taken a short hiatus on our social marketing. We are just reopened it up this week. We're going to do a huge social marketing burst as we started yesterday, and we're going to continue to really push that out and give people up-to-date information, letting them know how the platform works, letting them know success stories, letting them meet new people. We're really going to bring up and make it really vibrant so we can have everybody up to speed and up to date daily as we're continuing to really move forward. We have a lot of progression, a lot of things happening right now. So these monthly meetings may not be giving you guys speed up information quick enough. So we want to make sure that we're pushing it to our platforms, and we want it to be more interactive, where we want people to give us feedback on certain that as we're pushing that out. And that, which comes with the social media, we're in a space now where Twitter is obviously a great platform where people are using texting and everything, but we all know that people like watching videos, right? So we're going to do make a much more effort into creating video content to explain all of our different processes, right? So you guys can understand it, you guys can read about it, in short phrases, bullet points, in long literature, and pitch book literature, and in video content as well. So you guys can be able to digest it, which works best for you. So guys, look out for new video content coming out over the next couple of weeks, as we're going to really be pushing that out. Because of all the funding coming in, we really want to start driving in a huge amount of members. So we want to make sure that our process is crystal clear. And as you guys know today, nothing's better than video content. So as you guys know, I can keep going forever, but those are my my updates for now. Thank you again, and guys, we'll talk to you soon.
What's going on, everybody? Just want to say thank you guys for tuning in on our monthly meeting. I'm excited today, not only because of the position, but where we're at with FunderOne. So I'm going to dive right into it because, we care about you guys, right? So the first thing I want to just cover and kind of piggyback off our great individual, Mr. Matt Daniels here, who gave us the information in regards to the funding, right? So I just want to, again, initiate a thank you to each and every last one of our members for being patient and just sticking with us in regards to where we're at with the platform, right? So we do have some funding that's coming down the pipeline that is going to be able to get us moving forward at a fast pace. But I want you guys to really just take into consideration that it's just not the funding, right? It's all about the structure and making sure that we're doing things the right way, right? Because we want to think about this. This is long term. What we're doing is not short term. What we're doing here is long term. So we're talking about years and years and years down the line. With that being said, we are making sure that we're taking the proper steps and making sure that we're making the right decisions, not for us, but for you guys, right? So just continue to have patience with us. Don't steer away from that. I want you guys to continue to have patience with us because, as you guys know, with new entities like this, hiccups are going to occur. Things are going to happen. But it's going to take you guys to continue to keep believing in us for us to keep going. Okay. With that being said, customer service is something that I want to definitely, we're going to be beefing up, right? So we are going to be having some new infrastructure that's going to be coming down the pipeline where you guys are going to be able to be introduced to some of our virtual customer service assistants that we're going to pretty much be bringing on board, right? So be prepared for that whole new look. Again, piggybacking off Matt Daniels in regards not just the website, but again, we are going to be beefing up that customer service department as well. Investors. So we got some new investors that are coming down the pipeline that believe in what we do. And we're just happy that these individuals see the vision, the same vision that Sid Celestin created and built and brought to the family, and said, hey, he knew that when he came up with this particular concept and idea, that it wasn't going to just be him. He knew that he needed to have a team, and any successful business model that you guys see out here in the world today, it's never ran by just one person, right? When you think about McDonald's or Walmart, you see those entities are ran by a team, a group of individuals that run their own departments and they stay in their own lane, right? We all know that Matt Daniels is our crypto guy, right? He knows that space, which is the reason why he gives you guys those updates, right? So I'm excited for what Sid Celestin has done with this platform and what he's looking to do futuristically as we continue to grow. So be on the lookout for different individuals that we're going to be bringing up on this stage to join us that are excited like we are, right? That are investors that are going to be coming to the table to help us expand. With that being said, I was able to create some additional banking relationships, which is extremely huge for us, especially when it comes to, the wires and things of that nature. So please, I don't want you guys to feel any kind of way that, we had to change up a few of the banking routines as far as for how the deposits are being sent and things of that nature. I want you guys to take into consideration. Again, we got to make sure that we're doing things the right way and we're taking the right approach, right? So we do have new banking relationships that's coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for those updates. And like Matt said, this is the purpose of having that website in place, right? We're looking to have a blog section on there where, weekly, you guys will be able to get those updates to where, you don't just have to wait a month, right? You can be able to go in there and check, every week to see what's going on with FunderOne and what direction that we're going to be going in, okay? With that being said, I'm excited to announce that I'll be bringing to the table the FunderOne debit card. So be on the lookout with that debit card mid-July. This will also help out with the membership payments, right? That kind of coincides with the merchant account that I spoke to you guys about last month, which is running extremely good. We were already in beta phase with it, which is we got a few hiccups that we have to fix. But by the time the FunderOne debit card is released by next month, that merchant account will be fixed. But now you guys will be able to make your membership payments using that FunderOne debit card. So once it's released, we'll talk a little bit about the features, right? The reason why, because it's not going to just be a traditional debit card. As you guys know, because we dwindle in the crypto space, you'll be able to have access to purchase not just any crypto, but FUNDX, right? So that's going to be the most important piece. So we're going to tie all of that together. Myself and Matt is going to get together and we're going to work extensively to make sure that those components are in place for that to take place, which brings me to my next bullet point I want to express is we now have cryptocurrency ATM machines that are being branched out currently right now as we speak. Right now, we have about 4 ATM machines that are out now, 2 in Atlanta, 2 in Houston. So we are going to be coming to the California area, Illinois, New York. So pretty much all over, right? So just stay tuned for new updates. And that way you guys can start going to those ATM machines and start taking pictures, right? And say, hey, I'm a part of this, right? So definitely want to just, just talk to you guys and just say, again, thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding. I just want to thank the FunderOne team and family for the opportunity, right? Just so you guys know what I bring to the table as an entrepreneur is taking companies to the next level. And I do believe that given the opportunity that I have, it's time to run full force and take FunderOne exactly where it needs to be. So I'm excited. Jax, back to you, sir.
Go ahead, Sid.
Yes, I was asked to go over a couple of things here with our members, because there's a few questions that came about. And the board, I mean, like I can tell you guys, when you guys ask questions and you put questions in the chat or you send email to the support, those questions actually go directly to the board. The board have access to those questions, and where they usually come back with ideas and thoughts and usually tell me what it is that we need to do so we can address those questions. Now, we're going to go over one of them, which is Jack, if you can put that up, the Rockefeller one. Okay. Now, this one is interesting. We're going to go over this and then we'll talk about it in length after we read the information that's posted by Mr. Rockefeller back in the 18 and 1900s. He says, we will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one, that he must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion. They must always believe that they are not equal. Now, he was talking about blacks, right? And we're going to find out something different. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their lands, resources, and wealth to exercise control over them. We will trick them into accepting laws that will steal the title or the little freedom that they have. We will set up a money system. That's important. We will set up a money system that will shut them down forever, keep them and their children in debt. And this is the multi-millionaire or billionaire that says that. That was his quote. The main part is we will set up a money system that will shut them down forever, keeping them and their children in debt. Now, as far as we know, nowadays we've been talking about for the past few years, 2% control the money all over the world. The 98% are the rest of us. We are part of the 98%. Now, again, mind you, when he quoted this, he was talking about blacks. But with time, when it comes to finance and the evolution and everything else, it's not about black. Anytime you talk about money, we're talking about everybody. That's why I mentioned that 2% controls 98%. So we are the people. He's not black, he's not white. When I do a mortgage, well, when I was doing mortgage, if you come to me, it doesn't matter who you are. Every single person, even today, you go to get a mortgage from a bank, whether you're buying a house for $100 million or you're buying a house for $100,000, it doesn't make no difference. The documents are the same. It doesn't say something different for white and for black. That's why I want to make sure that we all understand that. Again, he was talking about black people at that time, but now this is a different era. When you hear or you read something like that, you need to understand the reason why things are the way they are right now. They created the debt system or debt platform to put actually black people at that time under control. That's what it says. But at the same time, when you look at the financial system right now, you go to the bank, they quote unquote tell you they give you a loan, whereas the bank cannot give you loan because they don't have the money. The banks use investors, just like we do. The investors give them a warehouse line of credit, they call it. That's what they use to actually give loans, just like myself. As a mortgage banker, I used to have warehouse line of credits up to $20 million. But I did not have $20 million in my account. I have 3 different warehouse line of credits. The total was 20 million. Now, the requirement for me to have those line of credits, I had to have at least 10% of the amount in my account. The first one I had was 5 million. I had 500,000 in there. And then within 6 months, they increased it. And I applied with other companies, which I had a total at that time for 20 million, which means I had $20 million in my account. I had $2 million in my account, but the warehouse line of credit was for 20 million. Again, I did not have that money. Now, the investors that actually gave me the warehouse line of credit for the total of $20 million, they did not have $20 million in the account either. The one that gave me 5 million didn't have to have 5 million. The one that gave me 10 million, they did not have 10 million. The other one for another 5, he did not have $5 million in his account. The plan was for me to have, they give me a list of buyers to buy the paper after we close the transactions. Pay attention to what I'm saying. The system does not have money. So now, how we get the money to close those transactions? I had to go to that buyer and send in those papers before actually I close the transaction to see if you want to purchase it. Now, when he says, yes, he wants to purchase it, the buyer of that house has to come in and close or sign those papers. That's why we have 3-day rescission. 3 days after you sign, we can close. They sign the papers, and then I forward the papers to that buyer. After I send the papers to the buyer, and the buyer of those papers, not the buyer of the house. Now the client that came to me to purchase this particular house has to wait until that person sent the money to the title company. Now, if the client doesn't come and sign those papers, there was no money. Because the client has to come in and sign the docs, they call it. After they sign the docs, we send the docs to the buyer, that company that's buying those papers. And from that, they can go to the federal window, or they call it Fed's window, that they can leverage it, get credit. Do you see that? Now, in the other hand, you may ask, who actually came with the money? Did the bank The investor that gave me the warehouse line of credit, or the buyer, the second bank that actually purchased the paper from me? Who came with the money? Neither one of them came with the money because they didn't have the money. Who came with the money is the client. Without the client's signature, there would be no money. After the client sign those docs, that's when they can go on and do what they need to do to leverage the paper and do whatever it is to create the money. You see that? So what we're trying to say here is we, the natural persons, we have more power than we think we have. Without us, there's no bank. Without us, there's no business anywhere. We are the one that creates stuff. Without us signing something, without doing anything, whether it's manually or anywhere you can think of, nothing comes to existence. B of A, Wells Fargo, Chase, or any of those banks, they cannot create anything without us. We are the creators. When you go to the county recorders or the courthouse to register a business, what they ask you for? They ask you for the fictitious name of that business. Fictitious name, which means that entity doesn't even exist. You see? So without you coming in and create that company, that name, and file it or record it at the county recorders, there's no existence of that business. So we are the one that create this stuff. That's why when you come to us, we say, okay, we can tokenize the project for you, regardless of what it is. We say the three things that we want to do for you is the house, the car, and student loans. Why? Because those three are the three that we can have, quote unquote, more control of. And those are the three that people are struggling with. That a guy like a Rockefeller, for example, saying is going to create a debt platform for us to keep us in debt. Now, what we say when Satoshi, pay attention, in 2008, came with cryptocurrency and blockchain, Bitcoin specifically. He said on his vision, based on his vision, is a peer-to-peer transaction, just like any other transaction, just like I just explained. Let's say you, the buyer of the house, quote unquote, the bank is going to give you a loan. If you do not, the bank asks you to come with 10% down, which is a note. And the bank says they're going to give you a loan for 90%. And you have to sign a note for them for 90%. 90% note plus another 10% note give you 100%. That's why they call it close of escrow, which means everything is paid on the table because you give them two notes. You give them a note for 10%. And you sign a note for them for 90%. Now, what do they do with this note? They convert it into mortgage-backed securities. They put on a remit trust, and they're making money on it every single month. And the note, they endorse it, pay to the owner of ABC Bank, and do bookkeeping entry in the book. They create credit with it. Now, what about you? You are the creator. How can the creator is the one that has a debt? Think about it for a minute. You create a note for them because you sign it. You sign the truth in lending for them, which is 2.5 times that amount. They use those instruments. I didn't say document now. I say instruments. They're making money on those instruments every month. And then you, the creator, end up with a debt. How can that be? And by the way, we as natural persons cannot create negative. Only fictitious entities can create negative. We are a natural being. We are a person. Without us, they cannot create anything. So the question was, what makes a blockchain different than the fiat platform? The fiat platform create a debt, and they tell us that we owe. The blockchain system says that it is a peer-to-peer transaction. Anything that you do in blockchain you cannot create debt in blockchain. You cannot, because it's clear that it is a peer-to-peer transaction, which means you go to the store, you purchase a shirt, they say $100, you give them the $100 and they give you the shirt. You don't pay every month for the shirt. It's a peer-to-peer transaction. And it's the same thing on our platform. That's exactly what we do for you. You come to us, we say we're gonna tokenize the property for you. Now, you have to qualify. We have to find a way to qualify you. And I gave you the example, the way that I usually have my line, the warehouse line of credit, they call it, how I was qualified, what qualification that they had for me. I had to have 10%. That's why we say it on our model is invest in yourself. Why? Because you come in, you purchase 10% of FUNDX and you have it in your wallet because you purchase it. You own it. It is yours. Now with that, once you purchase the 10%, we say, okay, you qualify for that amount. Now, what do? We fund 100% of your project. Let's say your project is 500,000. When we fund it, we will fund 500,000, not 450,000, because you do not give the 10% to anybody. All you do, in order for you to qualify, you have to purchase 10% of FUNDX and have it in your wallet. It's yours. What we say is that's why we have all the exchanges. That's why we have all those platforms that we're applying with. Why? Is because after you finish with your project, after we fund your project, per schedule, right, you're gonna have the ability to go and use the FUNDX you have in your wallet plus profit. Let's say you purchase a FUNDX at $1,000, and right now is $1,900 or $2,100, $2,500. That's your profit. You don't give it to us. You have it in your wallet. You see that? So that's why blockchain is beautiful. All it is, I'm asking our members, is that for us, a time to read or go over our website. FunderOne, FUNDX.io. There's a lot of information there. We have FunderOne.com that Matthew right now and his team, they are working on updating the website, which should be ready sometime this week or next week. You already mentioned that on the earlier, right? But the bottom line is we as a people need to understand how we got here. The bottom line is the previous, our ancestors, they created that debt system to put us under control. Now with blockchain, with Satoshi, back in 2008, when he came with it, he said enough is enough. Because as you can see, the real estate market, every 5 years, there's changes. We always have some issues. Why? Why the real estate market cannot stabilize? Why there's always an up and down and so drastic every 5 years? That's why I said Satoshi is a banker, because he's been going through it. Because since I've been in this business since 1987, in the mortgage business, those up and downs been going on for no reason at all. Now with blockchain, we have an opportunity where we can actually own our home. That's why the platform is set up in a way where once you have our home, we can actually keep it for our home, for our kids and grandkids and great grandkids. That's the way it used to be. That's why grandmama used to have her home 30, 40, 50 years. But that was changed. Back in 1987, to be exact. That's when President Reagan came out and said, a house is not a home. A house is an investment. So you have to sell it, make money, buy a big one and do one, and so on and so forth. That's why within the last few years, a lot of people got into the housing business, buying and selling and buying a foreclosure and all this stuff. It's nothing new. It wasn't in the book. It's been in the book. But I tell you, the good book says, my people are dying due to lack of. We don't read. We don't read this stuff. We have the information on our website. We have the information all over the place on our videos. We talk about it. But blockchain is a beautiful thing. As we can see right now, you see, right now we have over 10,000 different projects. From the start, when the blockchain started, in order for you to enter into blockchain or put something or create a coin, for example, you had to bring a project. You have to have a project. If you don't have a project, you cannot be listed. Now things have changed. We have so many coins out there. It's all about making money. Well, that was not the vision that Satoshi had. He said it clearly. It's a peer-to-peer transaction, number one. Number two, with blockchain, you eliminate, let's say, all third parties. And that's what we do. There's no third party. And you create transparency, which means all our transactions will be recorded at the county recorders, the courthouse, and blockchain. All of them. Because in order for us to tokenize them and to create real tokens, somebody, a natural person has to sign it. You see that? A natural person has to sign it. And in fact, not only sign the instruments, but there has to be a notary to notarize the document. So that we can record it at the county recorders and courthouse and take it to blockchain. So everybody can see the exact amount that we are making on the project versus the banks. You don't know anything about the mortgage-backed securities. You don't know how to look for them. You don't know how much they make. And they turn around and say that you didn't pay. And they don't have no proof of it. Because from day one, they received the note and they converted into mortgage-backed securities. They created the truth in lending that you sign and create the credit for them, enter in their books. In fact, that's what they do when they enter in their books. And from there, they send you the statement that they call coupon. The coupon is attached to that account that you have at this particular bank or collection agency. Because the banks is out. Within 30 days after the bank, quote unquote, close the transaction, they solve it. Just like, let's say you have a loan, you think you have a loan with Bank of America. 30 days later, you receive a payment coupon. You said Bank of America Corporation. In your mind, you think it's Bank of America. It's not. Bank of America and Bank of America Corporation is two different entities. Bank of America Corporation is a collection agency, and Bank of America N.A. is the actual bank. So Bank of America N.A. sell the paper to Bank of America Corporation as a collection agency to collect funds from you because Bank of America N.A. already got paid. That's the way it works. So my people, one thing that I'd like you guys to do for us is to read, get information, because blockchain actually opened the can so all of us can see what the bank's been doing to us for years, and we trust them. Now, for our position right now, we had to be clear to you and also clear to our investors. The same way we talk with you here, our board and our attorneys, right now, they know exactly what we are about, and they can speak with our investors intelligently about what's been going on and what's going on, what are we about to do. This is something new. It is. But we're asking you as a people, think about the benefit where we are right now. We went to school 10, 15, 20 years ago. We're still making payments. And we sign a note and give it to them. That the only way that they cut us on this is because we say we promise to make payments. And that's why I'm going to show you something else. What the codes, United States codes say about checks and all those things. Jack, can you put them on for me?
Sure, hold on one second.
In fact, you guys can actually put it from your phone. That 18 USC or US code 8. 18 US code 8. It is clear. If you can put it up for us. Okay. 18 US code 8. Obligation or other security of the United States defined. You see? And that's for Legal Information Institute. The term obligation or other security of the United States includes all bonds. Obligation now, that's their obligations. Certificates of indebtedness, national bank currency. Okay. Federal Reserve notes, Federal Reserve Bank notes, coupons, United States notes, treasury notes, gold certificates, silver certificates, fractional notes, certificates of deposit, bills, your bills, my bills, are the obligation of the United States. Checks, the banks tell us that our checks are bounds. Bounds from where? Your bills, your checks, or drafts for money drawn by or upon authorized officers of the United States. As you guys can see, it's not us typing it. You can actually put it from your phones. Go to Mr. Google. Mr. Google is a very good friend of ours. Anything that we need, we can pull it from Mr. Google, and Mr. Google will tell us what it is or tell us the truth. Our bills, our checks, are the obligations of the United States of America. But the banks, when you go to the bank, opening a checking account, what they do? You have to sign. When you sign, you never read on the bottom of it what it says on the fine line, what it says. It says that you, we agree to make payments if anything happens. So they put something contrary to what the codes say. So he can trap us. Remember what it says, Mr. Rockefeller. They're gonna create a debt system so they can keep us in debt. It's simple. There's so much information out there. I'm not saying that we are there doing just that. Yes, we as a mortgage banker for the past over 30 years, there's things that I have to know. There's things that my board comply with attorneys, doctors, and everybody else, they have to know. And we go over all those things. But I'll tell you one thing, my people. We are part of a platform that will do what it does. Of course, we're going to run to opposition, of course, but our investors, just like any investor, they understand where we are. They understand what we're doing. That's why we have our websites. And that's why some of the requirements at times they ask for is to make sure that we are listed everywhere that we need to be listed, like CoinMarketCap, Coinbase, exchange like Probit, P2P, Kraken, you see? And we move on, we keep on going with different platforms that we try to, or we want to put ourselves so people can see us. Now, the plan is just like anything else, we, as FUNDX, since we are backed by our members, listen to this, because all our projects will be signed by our members. Because when we fund, in order for us to fund the project for you or to tokenize the project for you, you have to sign. So by signing, you create. So the total amount of tokens that we're gonna create for your project, you'll be signing for it saying, yes, you agree, because in order for us to give you your keys to that property, in order for us to eliminate the debt for you, you have to sign those instruments for us. That's how we tokenize it. Bitcoin doesn't do that. Bitcoin is only backed by technology. You see that? You see the difference? Bitcoin is only backed by technology, but our platform is backed by our members because they are the one that actually sign those instruments to tokenize those properties or those projects. The reason why I say project, because it can be three, which means a house, a car, and student loan. So you are the creators. You are the one that create the platform. You are the one that create the credit or the tokens for us. Now, I'll tell you, we're going to make a lot of money. But guess what? You're going to have your house free of debts. Versus the banks, you're making payments on a mortgage that you can never pay for. And they have that foreclosure clause that they say that you authorize them to sell the house for you. So you are the one that tell them to take it from you. Does that make sense? Again, my people, please read this stuff. We're here to help. We came up with a platform that that nobody else have. The banks right now, they're studying how they can get into their system with their debt platform. It's not going to fit in blockchain. But we are way ahead of them. Why? Because we don't have greed on our side. Because the banking system is created based on greed and greed only. The way we see it, if we share the the coins or the tokenization with you, and we share with the investors, guess what? We all be happy. You're gonna have a home. Huh? All this madness that we have in the world right now can be reduced. Why? Because all those stress and people that are killing each other, a lot of them just based on, they don't have anything. They don't have nothing better to do. Now, if you have your family at home, you have a home and you enjoy your home and you have your car, you have whatever basic needs that you have, guess what? You're not going to be out there killing people. You're going to be out there enjoying life. And remember, if you go and read the Constitution of the United States, it is clear that this is a right that every single citizen has to have a home. But the banks say, no. It is a right for the citizen to have a debt. That's what the banks say. Now we, FUNDX platform, we're saying this is a right that every single member has to have a home free of debts. That's our plan. Now, remember now what happened in 2007. After they pulled the plug, the banks pulled the plug due to greed over $1. They pulled the plug on all the banks, right? And they foreclosed on a bunch of people, a lot of people. And they again pay those lobbyists in Washington to come back with new laws. And they were the one that used to come to us as a broker, as a small banker. They used to tell us train us how to close those transactions. Now they are the one that saying, going to Washington saying, those brokers are the one that mess up the banking system, which is a big lie, because we didn't have no money. They were the one that came and gave us a lot of credit and saying that we can close here, how to close those transactions. Now, as you guys can see, for the past 12 years, since 2008, nobody talk about this. They keep it on hush and hush. A lot of brokers, some of them killed themselves. They don't know what to do because the type of money that they used to make, they cannot make it anymore. But me and a group of guys were out there looking for ways, not to defeat, not to fight them, but they're a way to do something. And here's blockchain. And blockchain came in and said they are crypto, they're dealing with cryptocurrency, and they are decentralized. And that was the plus for us. Because the Federal Reserve Platform is full of lobbyists paying a bunch of money, millions of dollars, to keep the ball rolling. But in blockchain, they couldn't do that. Now, the question that we may have is that why Satoshi, or nobody knows what Satoshi looks like? That's a big question. And we're going to keep it there. But again, my people, read. Find out what happened, why it happened the way it happened. Google keywords on your phone, on a tablet or your laptop, anywhere, just so you can get information. Our system works. We already closed 2 of them in the state that more difficult to close any type of transaction with properties. Why? Because they say they have a lot of retired old people. They don't understand banking. People from other states came to Florida and take the property from them. And when we went in and tried to close our transaction, they told us, where is the debt? We say, no, there's no debt. They said, well, we cannot insure it. We say, no, we don't care about that. We just want to close it the way it is. There's no debt. Because we even told the attorney, how can there be a debt? Who created that debt? He said, well, the buyer. I said, how did the buyer create a debt? A natural person cannot create negative. He said, what do you mean by that? I said, well, we tokenize the property, we create the liquidity for them, and then we eliminate the debt. Therefore, there's no debt. He said, well, the only way that we can actually record and close this transaction for you, we cannot insure it. We say, no problem. You don't have to insure it because there's no debt. And they went on and closed it for us. So people, it is simple. It's not a secret. You just have to know what's going on. And mind you, nobody's losing a penny. The investors are not losing, and the people are gaining. And the investors are making big bucks because they're the one that bring the funds. So please be with us, follow us. Now, right now, as Matthew mentioned, Twitter accounts are going on, and YouTube, and all the accounts of the media accounts are going on. Please read, find out more information, and tweet and talk between yourselves, and that way we can move and make this movement. That's why I say it's a community that we're building. And you happen to be part of this community. This is beautiful because you're going to have your home free of debts. Thank you again. We're looking forward on our next meeting to give you more information about what's going on with FUNDX. Jack, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, Seth. That was extremely informative. Thank you so much for all of you that took time to participate. And as we close out, I see quite a few chats in here. So we're gonna do our diligence to ensure that all these questions are answered. I see that people have been following instructions. They've been putting their names in their emails so that we can answer them directly. And then of course the general questions are general questions. So we're gonna put in our FAQ. But as we look forward to a lot of these things, and as we look at the excitement of having our new CEO, Dr. Pitts, and we look at all these new things that are happening with the website coming through, we have several projects that are being worked on. It's exciting. A lot of exciting stuff going on right here at FunderOne. So a lot of the wait is going to start coming to an end. So let's go ahead and let's continue to push forward and making this platform a great one. So thank you, Seth. Thank you, Dr. Pitts. Thank you, Matthew. And at this time, Seth, unless you have anything else, I think we're going to close out.
Jacques, I say thank you for the time. I know you're way out there in New York, somewhere in the boonies, but you still make the time to host the platform for us. And we appreciate that. And thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a challenge with family and kids and everybody running around, but I think managed to make it work. So we look forward to the next meeting, and we look forward to getting the FAQ out there to you, so we can keep pushing forward. So thank you. And on this note, I will bid everyone a good night and see you next time.